WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. A boil water notice remains in effect for the city of Starkville through Saturday.
That boil water notice coming after a contractor for Atmos Energy hit a main water line yesterday afternoon, causing a water shutdown for much of South Starkville. Mayor Lynn Spruill says the line wasn't just broken, but was split down a 20-foot long pipe. Now, the repairs took 14 hours. The mayor says the size of the leak made it harder to isolate, and that caused the majority of water tanks in town to drain and most of the city to lose pressure. Water samples have been taken to Jackson for testing.
Now, that boil water notice is having a big impact on pretty much everyone, including businesses. Grocery stores have been swamped with people trying to stock up on drinks for themselves and in some cases others. Our
Riley Livingston is live in Starkville now with more on how people are coping until it's all cleared up. Riley.
Andrea, I'm here where that split in the line happened. Residents tell us they're trying to continue as normal, but they are running into some challenges.
Oh my gosh, I got in here at 6 o'clock and it hasn't stopped since 6 o'clock.
A citywide boil of water notice after Wednesday's water outage has caused a different sort of outage on grocery shelves. Employees at Val's Marketplace say their water jugs went first, but other beverages are quickly being sold.
It's water, Coke, tea, Sprite. It's the restaurants are coming in because they can't use any of their water. I guess you would call it panic buying almost. Because they're not just buying one, they're buying like 6, 10 carts full.
Local restaurants say it's a challenge, but they still have to keep the drinks flowing.
We've had to take time off and go buy the products, bring them back, had to change our pricing structure on different things, and it's just a different animal you have to deal with today. We can't make tea today because, this is made with water. Any of our Coca-Cola products from the fountain machines, those are off today.
And there was a bigger concern, taking care of students across the city.
So we tweeted out and texted out and stuff this morning between the Starkville Academy and the Starkville School District. If you can, send your child to school with a couple of bottles of water. I called Robert Clark this morning and asked him if there was some way they could help, and they are donating 2,500 bottles of water to all of the schools in quantities of like 400, 500, 300, that sort of thing, to the schools.
Mayor Lynn Spruill says she understands people's frustrations and is doing what she can to answer questions.
I did what I normally try to do anytime we have something going on in the city, and this one was a massive deal, so I just dedicated myself all night to responding to those questions. I tried on Nextdoor and on Facebook and on our city's website, on my Facebook page, and even on my property management website to get all those things out there. And when people would come back with questions, you need to answer them.
Mayor Spruill says she will continue to post updates on her social media and the city website. For now, reporting in Starkville, Riley Livingston, WCBI News.
A major expansion at Bancorp South is bringing new high-tech jobs to Lee County.
The Mississippi-based bank is also investing millions of dollars. Allie Martin has more on what this means for the area.
We came up here today for this very special announcement to bring 100 new jobs to Tupelo.
Those jobs are part of a $15 million expansion project at Bancorp South's Jackson Street Operations Campus. The project will add more space for the new employees who work in the Data and Information Processing Center. It will also reconfigure the existing office space to make it more efficient for the new hires and 700 or so employees currently working at the Jackson Street campus.
And we've got people out here that are not only doing the programming and making sure that our systems are secure, but also talking to the customers and then also taking care of just the daily processing. We service over $20 million in loans here in this facility. We've got over 500,000 cards, debit cards, credit cards out across the system, and people expect those cards to work. So we've got folks here that are taking care of all of that technology.
The City of Tupelo's major thoroughfare program will be a big boost for the bank's expansion plans. This part of Jackson Street will be improved, and right by the bank, dedicated turn lanes will be added. It will ease traffic for not only Bancorp South employees, but also for the public.
We've got state assistance on the infrastructure improvement, the road expansion on Jackson extended here. But I'm so proud of our Tupelo Major Thoroughfare Committee, the volunteers, also joining in economic development and putting funds by the expansion.
The Mississippi Development Authority is also providing a $750,000 grant to help with the cost of the road improvements. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Earlier this year, Tupelo was named Bank City USA by the American Bankers Association. Tupelo received the honor because Bancorp South and Renaissance Bank are headquartered in the All-America City. Time to turn things over to meteorologist Trevor Burchett for a first look at our forecast. Trevor.
Hey there, Joe. We've got a quick shower coming through on the Alpha Insurance Camera Network here in downtown Columbus. It's coming in from the west and coming in right now into downtown. Just a few sprinkles out there now, but Columbus is not the only one seeing some rain out there today. Mainly right there along and south of Highway 82, we've started to see some showers and storms pop up. Here's a closer look at what's going on here in the Golden Triangle. West Point getting into some thunder and lightning right now. Columbus, you see some light rain over there, and we've also had some showers and storms in the northern portion of Oktibbeha County. These storms should start to fizzle out tonight, but more storms possible tomorrow. I'll have that full forecast coming up next.
2 more people are facing charges in a Tupelo murder investigation. 53-year-old Ricky Mallory of Tupelo and 45-year-old Risky Brown of Nettleton are charged with accessory after the fact in the murder of Kelly Conway earlier this month. Now, Conway's body was found in a small home attached to an apartment on Eisenhower Drive. Mallory's bond is set at $100,000. Brown's bond set at $50,000. Amber Zen was arrested and charged with murder in this case. She's being held without bond.
A sex offender officers were looking for after conducting address compliance checks is back in jail. 40-year-old Omega Smith turned himself into the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office today. Over the last 2 weeks, the Sheriff's Office and U.S. Marshals were checking to make sure registered sex offenders were living at the addresses listed. 5 men were arrested after warrants were issued. Smith also had a warrant for failure to appear.
Attorneys for an Ole Miss student accused of murder make a surprise move in court today. Brandon Thiesfeld's defense team was expected to ask a Lafayette County judge to set bond. Instead, they requested a psychological evaluation. Thiesfeld is accused of murdering fellow student Allie Costiel. Costiel was found dead near Sardis Lake with multiple gunshot wounds last month. Thiesfeld has been in jail without bond since July. Authorities have not detailed the relationship between Thiesfeld and Costiel, but friends describe it as, quote, complicated.
The Mississippi Supreme Court upholds a Columbus man's murder conviction. Derek Nelson was convicted of shooting and killing Willie Hood Jr. The shooting happened at a graduation party on May 4th, 2013 on Pine Street. The State Court of Appeals reversed the conviction last October and ordered a new trial. This ruling today by the state Supreme Court overturns that decision. Nelson will serve life in prison.
A candidate for governor makes a last-minute push through North Mississippi.
We catch up with him when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves is showing support for his supporters. Reeves thanked volunteers at his Tupelo campaign headquarters as he made a swing through northeast Mississippi today. Voters head back to the polls Tuesday to decide a runoff between Reeves and former state Supreme Court Chief Justice Bill Waller. Reeves is staying on message through the runoff.
I don't believe that we should have Obamacare expansion in Mississippi. In fact, I think Obamacare was a mistake. Judge Waller would like to expand Obamacare so that 300,000 more people are on the rolls in Mississippi. I am opposed to raising taxes. I think your taxes are too high. Judge Waller has supported raising the gas tax as much as 12 cents a gallon, which is a $240 million tax increase on hardworking Mississippi families.
The winner of the Republican primary runoff faces Democrat Jim Hood in November.
Sun in Tupelo right now, but we've got darkening skies over Columbus. I'll have the latest on these afternoon showers and storms coming up right after this.
Here's your WCBI First Alert weather forecast.
Just a few showers on the radar this Thursday afternoon. Most all of the activity has been confined to areas along and south of Highway 82, so let's take a closer look at that. We'll zoom in here to northern Oktibbeha, southern portions of Clay County. We had some hefty thunderstorms roll through western portions of Clay County earlier. Those have since started to fizzle out. West Point did get in on a quick shower, but that too is starting to fizzle out as it continues to push off to the east. We had a little shower also in Lowndes County, came right through downtown Columbus and made for some dark skies. This too is dwindling out as it fades off to the north, so no more rain expected here in Columbus. This is all continuing to dissipate as it pushes off to the north. I'm not forgetting about our friends up to the north, up north of Highway 82, Lee County, Tupelo, Pontotoc. You just don't have any activity. No rain at all today, and I think that will be a welcome sight. We did have a few showers earlier come through Corinth right there along the Tennessee state line, but nothing notable there, not even any strikes of lightning. This is a live look from our Columbus Tower cam, and you can see right now we've got those darkening skies. Really more bark than bite, though. It's looking a lot darker and meaner than it actually is. No severe weather expected, nothing bad expected out of this, just some light summertime showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but like I said, this too is dissipating as it moves off to the north. We have dropped down to 82 in Columbus as that rain pushes into the Air Force Base. We're 81 in Starkville, still 91 in Tupelo, though, with a heat index of 97, where they haven't gotten any relief in the way of rain showers today. We'll dip down into the low 70s tonight, 73 for our low here in Columbus. Maybe a few clouds, possibly a shower. Most everybody going to stay dry, though. That's been the same trend for the last couple of nights. For tomorrow, though, rain chances almost certain. 60% chance all through the day tomorrow. Definitely want to pack that umbrella as you head to work. Bring it into work with you, so when you leave and it's raining, you don't have to run to your car and get soaking wet. Temperatures slightly lower. We'll top out in the low 90s right here at 90 in Columbus. You'll see on Futurecast we stay dry overnight tonight, maybe a sprinkle or two, but most everybody going to stay dry. Tomorrow afternoon, though, that's when we start to see those showers and thunderstorms light up on radar. Notice radar is looking a little more widespread in the way of shower and storm activity than we have been for the last couple of days, and that's going to continue into the afternoon and evening hours. So definitely pack the umbrella as you head out to work and school tomorrow. Rain chances going to continue into the weekend. 60% shot for Saturday as well. We'll bump it up to 70 for Sunday, but don't focus on the percentages still. Definitely don't want to have any outdoor plans. If you do have outdoor plans, have an indoor plan as a backup plan just to be sure. Rain chances continue into early next week with highs in the upper 80s.
Trevor, I have an indoor plan. Thank you very much. The Bulldogs have chosen who'll lead the offense in Week 1. More from Joe Moorhead on that decision next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
9 days before kickoff, Mississippi State and Joe Moorhead finally put an end to the quarterback competition. Tommy Stevens has been named starting quarterback for Week 1. The senior grad transfer given the nod over junior Keaton Thompson. Moorhead says the competition was close toward the middle of camp, but then Stevens pulled away heading into Week 1.
Tommy jumped out of the gate strong at the beginning of camp, closing into the first scrimmage. KT kind of closed the gap and had a real nice first scrimmage. And, from that point forward, Tommy created separation, continued to do that towards the tail end of camp. So we told both guys and we informed the team that Tommy Stevens is earned the right to be the starting quarterback for us this year, and certainly are excited about what KT did and how he performed, and is going to be an incredibly valuable asset for us, and we're going to need him to win a game for us this year.
Mississippi State senior offensive lineman Tommy Champion was arrested on Wednesday. Champion was charged with speeding and driving with a suspended license. Champion was arrested for driving with a suspended license with no insurance back in March as well. The Dispatch's Ben Portnoy was the first to report. Legendary head coach MC Miller's retirement didn't last long. Former Louisville head coach is back in the game. Miller joining Newton High School staff as defensive coordinator. Miller will be teaming up with head coach Zachary Grady, who was a former player of Miller's while at Louisville. The final stop of the high school football tour checks in with the Columbus Falcons. The Columbus High will have endured 3 straight years of a new head coach, but the feeling around the practice field is third time's a charm, as the Falcons will be led by someone who knows what it's like to win.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Sparklight.
Josh Polfus knows how to win. The former West Point assistant takes over as head coach in Columbus, leading a football program in need of a championship mindset. The Falcons coming off a winless season in 2018. The Pulfis says you wouldn't know it from how hard his team has worked in the offseason.
The thing about life and football is we tend to treat failure as a form of keeping you down. And these guys embraced it. They learned from the mistakes that they made last year, and they are learning and happy about trying to move forward.
Oh, man, I've seen a lot of growth. I mean, like, last year we were down, bouncing about playing at practice and everything, everybody just playing around. And this year, he ain't going for that. He trying to make sure we better, make sure we get to where we want to be.
He comes to work every day, motivate us. We just come out here and work hard every day.
Junior Ethan Connor will lead the offense for the Falcons this year, surrounded by plenty of young talent that experienced the tough times over the past 2 seasons. Pulfis says it's not a matter of if, but when for Columbus to break out of its slump.
You got to have breaks. You got to have breaks. Football is a game about breaks. Going back to West Point last year, we played 2 games. We had 2 big breaks in the special teams. So Columbus, they're waiting and they're due for their chance to succeed, and they're just waiting on their big break.
Columbus will experience a change of scenery moving down to Class 5A in 2019, but it doesn't get any easier. Falcons will have to go through the likes of West Point and Lafayette in Region 1 5A.
West Point's still the king because they're the reigning champs. Those saying they the champs until you knock them out. And Lafayette was a strong number 2. So, we got our hands full, but we can control what we control. As long as we go out and play hard and let the chips fall where they may, we'll be all right.
One game at a time, baby. It's just one game at a time. I care less about anything else. One game at a time. Make sure we get our plans straight. Make sure we be in there watching film. Make sure we get everything down.
Columbus begins its season on the road Friday at Provine. With the Falcons on the high school football tour, Tom Ebel, WCBI Sports. Speaking of the Columbus Falcons, make sure you tune in right after the news at 6 for our 5A and 6A preview shows. It's going to be a good time. We'll see you then. That's it for sports. Last look at your weather is next.
Well, I know everybody's excited for Friday Night Football to start tomorrow, and I think Tom's going to give me a dirty look for this one.
He's already giving you a dirty look.
He's looking around the camera. We got that 60% shot for rain. Best shot going to be right around kickoff time. I think those will start to dwindle, but pack the rain jacket, pack the umbrella, but have a good time. I've had some good times at rainy football games before.
Absolutely. I mean, just get in there with the cheerleaders and the band and have a good time.
For sure.
All right, so Tom, wipe the dirty look off because in about 10 seconds we're coming to you for the final end zone preview show, like right now. Smile.